The last thing I have, Mr. Mayor, we actually discussed this at our last safety meeting, but I know a number of you weren't there. So I wanted to go over it with all of council. Some of you may have seen this in the paper or may have heard what I'm about to talk about, but recently Attorney General Mike DeWine commissioned an advisory group, a task force if you will, on how to reduce inappropriate police violence and improve community police relations. Based on some of the things you may have seen in the news media, that was the reason for that. This advisory group or this task force has come up with several suggestions. And I just want to go over a couple of these and then I'll kind of explain to you why I'm going over them. Number one suggestion was they want to enhance the training for law enforcement by increasing the continuing professional training hours. That's what we refer to as CPT hours. Currently, all law enforcement officers in the state of Ohio are required to complete 4 hours of CPT training. This is similar to what social workers or nurses, CEUs, they refer to them as. It's along the same lines. As I said, currently our officers are going through 4 hours of training. As long as one of those 4 hours is completed in an area that the state tells you to complete it in. For example, this year's training, 1 hour of that training is on domestic violence. As long as you do 1 hour on domestic violence, the state reimburses the department for the training. This advisory group wants to increase the CPT hours from 4 hours a year to 40. The issue is going to be the cost. They're not sure how they're going to cover that, or if they're going to reimburse the departments 100%. Obviously, for some smaller departments that don't have a lot of money, that can be very crippling. So they made some suggestions on how they're going to pay for that. They've listed everything from taking every traffic citation that's written, taking $1 from every traffic citation that's written over the state, putting that into a fund. They've talked about taxing everybody's cell phone $1. They've talked about taxing everybody's cable or satellite bill $1. So basically, all of us would be paying for that training. That's not been etched in stone. Those are just some ideas. I think in all reality what may happen is the 4 hours may gradually start to climb, but that's a pretty big jump to go from 4 hours to 40. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen. I bring that up because obviously that could have an impact on our budget in the future, so we're going to have to try to budget for that. I'll get with Bill as I see how this is going to go, but I just kind of want to make you aware of that. Another recommendation the advisory group made was they want to reduce the police academies. Currently there are 62 police academies in the state of Ohio. They feel that's too many. They want to reduce that down to 12. How they're going to select those 12 is going to be interesting, but we're told they're going to select the ones that produce the best candidates. Not sure how they're going to do that, but they feel that a lot of these police academies are just taking individuals' monies and sending them through the academy and then not really giving them the appropriate training is some of the thoughts. So you may see some reduction in police academies. Another suggestion that the advisory board made was increasing the number of basic training hours. Right now the police academy consists of 605 hours. They say they want to substantially increase that. They didn't give a number, they just said substantially increase that, so we'll see where that's going to go. One of the things that they also recommended prior to being accepted in a police academy, and I think these are all great ideas, in order to even be accepted in a police academy, they want to require that all candidates have at least a high school diploma or a GED. They want to drug screen the individuals. They also want to give them a psychological examination along with a polygraph examination. They want to have a physical fitness assessment done, and they want to have criminal disqualifiers. So if an individual has a prior sex offense or crimes of violence such as domestic violence, they would be excluded from our police academies. I just would like to point out all of those requirements that they've listed. These are, again, prior to even being accepted into the academy. I can tell you that our department not only requires a high school diploma, we also require at least a 2-year college degree or a minimum of 2 years experience with another law enforcement agency. Our department, as well as our village, does random drug screening. Our department, prior to hiring somebody and our background investigation, we're already doing psychological exams, we're already doing polygraph examinations. So a lot of these recommendations that are being made, our department is already doing those. Another recommendation that the advisory board made was a mandatory use of force policy. Again, our department already has one. We have a continued force curriculum. And it's pretty standard that most departments in the state of Ohio have that. I was surprised to find out that some departments do not have a use of force policy. Again, our department does. The final recommendation that this advisory board made was they want to see departments have certain equipment. They categorize them as less lethal equipment. And they gave examples of things like tasers, pepper spray. Again, our department already has those pieces of equipment. They did also mention body cameras, and I wanted to touch on that a little bit because I know that's been talked about in the past. And I can assure you that we as a department have been researching body cameras a long time ago. This is not something that we just recently started looking at as a knee-jerk reaction because some of the things that are going on in the news media. This is something that we have looked at for a long time. I think it's important to, when we buy that piece of equipment, that we buy the right equipment. For example, as you know, all of our cruisers are equipped with in-car video systems already in the car. I think it makes sense to buy a body camera that works in conjunction with the equipment that we already have. Instead of buying an independent system, let's get one that already works with what we have in the car. And they do make those available. I've already priced those. But the thing that I wanted to bring up tonight, the reason that we're kind of waiting on looking at these body cameras, and trust me, I have spoken to many area police chiefs, and I'll tell you, I've talked to police chiefs that have gone out as almost a knee-jerk reaction and have purchased this equipment. And I can tell you they have struggled with a variety of problems. And some of those problems are, a number of police chiefs are running into issues with privacy. What do they have to edit from these recordings? Another issue is storage. Data storage becomes a big issue because you got to maintain these records somewhere. And I can tell you one department up in Fowler has jammed up their computer because they just had so many recordings. So these are some issues that we have to, I think it would be wise to take a look at some of these issues first. In fact, I'll read the quote to you, and this comes directly from the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police. And it says, the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police supports the concept of body-worn cameras. However, the OACP does not think that it is the right time to mandate their purchase and use. Without an alternative funding source, the purchase of body-worn cameras is cost prohibitive for many departments. The OACP would like to be involved in any statewide policy pertaining to the use of these cameras. It should be noted that many issues have yet to be resolved, including privacy, data storage, and when the camera should be turned on and off. I can tell you I've had conversations with our solicitor about body cameras. So this is something we have been looking at. I can assure you we will continue to look at, but I can tell you right now, I do not think it is the right time for us to buy body cameras. I can tell you, I have spoken, like I said, to some of the area police chiefs. I know some chiefs have actually pulled them off their officers until some of these issues get addressed. So, again, I'm not against these body cameras. I just think the time is not right for us right now. So I will continue to keep you posted on that issue, but I just wanted to share that with you.